I was wondering about the opportunity. The first two drives, you guys went down there and moved the ball pretty efficiently, but you didn't get any points out of the first one, and then the fumble late in the first half, and next thing you know, you're trailing at halftime. I guess what was that like with the missed opportunity going into the break?
Yeah, just like you were saying, just too many missed opportunities. When we move the ball like that and we get into the red zone, we have to capitalize on those opportunities. We have to finish with points. And unfortunately, we didn't do that, and as you see, that kind of hurt us, late in the game. So we have to do a better job of really finishing in the red zone, finishing with touchdowns, which help us put ourselves ahead in those, especially in late tight games, and just not making those mistakes, especially that close, to the red zone, not making those mistakes. So those are the big things we really have to focus on as a team.
Nate, did you think those mistakes were over after last week against Iowa and what made them rear their ugly head again?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to really just execution, and especially, with the emotions high, with the rivalry of this game, we have to be able to calm our emotions down. We have to be able to execute, the little details at the end of the day. And like I said, Michigan, they're a really good team. They're a really, really good, sound defense. But at the end of the day, it's all about us. So what do we do in order for us to put ourselves in the best position to score? And like as you said earlier, we just didn't do that today. We execute as we should have.
Do you have a sense going in that you guys were going to be able to run the ball like that effectively? And I mean, the first drive, I think there was one even attempted pass that wound up being a running play itself, and it was like 12 straight. Was that the game plan going in, or is that sort of what presented itself when you got out there?
Yeah, the game plan was just to have a balance between the run game and the pass game, and we knew that we had an opportunity based off the film that we watched to be able to move the ball on these guys, and we were able to do that successfully, I believe. And unfortunately, we can't keep getting stalled out when it gets to the red zone, because that's where it hurts us, So we have to figure out a way in order for us, when we drive the ball down there, to finish with points, hopefully touchdowns.
Wonder about the penalties too, and how and when those penalties happen, and how much they maybe affected some of those drives.
Yeah, it hurts, especially when we have so much success. And at the end of the day, we just shoot ourselves in the foot a lot, and we have to make sure, like I say, it goes back to focus and go back to little details. There's not a huge thing that I could really say at the end of the day. It's just at the end of the day, it comes to the simple things of not jumping off sides, some things of lining up correctly. And we're coached to do that, So we as players, we have to figure out what's going to take when it gets to those tight games for us to really lock in and for us to be able to be focused, so we can go on the field and execute, put ourselves in the best position to win games.
How about your individual performance? You go over 100 for the first time since Iowa last year. Really active in the pass game. You were running pretty hard. I guess, how do you describe how you played tonight?
Yeah, I'm just blessed, blessed to have the opportunity to be able to come out here and to play. Offensive line did a great job opening up holes for me, and receivers did a great job blocking areas, really helped me out. And at the end of the day, it just came to really execution, and it started up front with the O-line. So I give all my props to them for how they handled those guys up front. And at the end of the day, I'm just blessed that I had the opportunity to come out here and perform.
And I know you obviously don't get the win, but the last 2 weeks, what you guys have done in the run game, how much confidence does that give you moving down the stretch? Because it really slip.
Yeah, it's really encouraging. It's really encouraging, and what we can see is we have so much potential, and we keep saying this week in and week out. So, we're going to improve. We're on a constant improvement. That's what Coach Smith always talks about, is making sure that every single day, every single week, we're looking at the film, and we're saying, okay, how can we improve? How can we improve in the run game? How can we improve overall as an offense? In the passing game, how can we improve overall as a team? So each and every day, we have to work on that constant level of improvement in order for us to win these close, tight games. Going forward.
Any sense of what happened at the end with the pushing and shoving?
I don't know too much of what happened. I know that it's a very emotional game, and especially in a rivalry, emotions get high. And at the end of the day, we have to do what we need to do in order to move on, put this game behind us, head into the field tomorrow, and continue to work. We have another great opponent this upcoming week, so we have to be able to watch the film, learn from this film, put this game behind us, and work to finish out the season strong.
The test that is to go. I mean, next week Indiana hasn't lost yet this year. I mean, this game is something you put a lot into. I'm wondering what sort of test that is for this team, of your maturity, of everything, to come out with a focused week and put this behind you.
Yeah, I think more than ever, we're going to be more focused and locked in. We believe we should have won this game, and, I think everyone in the locker room knows that we probably should have won this game. There was no doubt in our mind coming into this game that we should have won, and there's no doubt in our minds that every single game after this is not a winnable game. So we have to continue to work, we have to continue to grind, we have to continue to do all that we can do so we can finish every single game out with a W to end out the season the way that we want to.
Nate, I know you haven't been here, this program's super long, but I'm just wondering, any differences you noticed, big or small, about how this coaching staff approached this week in this game compared to your previous experiences?
Yeah, the one thing I love about this coaching staff is that they implement us of a fight on mentality. You know, we're always considered to fight. We knew coming into this game was going to be a fourth quarter fight. And it doesn't matter how the game started, how the game ended, at the end of the day, we're going to fight to the end. And unfortunately, I believe that we fought to the end, but we didn't end up coming with a W. And that's unfortunate. And I mean, us as men, we have to learn how to continue to grow and how to continue to push forward in the midst of adversity, in the midst of not getting the result that we want. And I think this coaching staff really, excuse me, preaches that to us. And it's encouraging, you know, coming from this coaching staff, how they changed the culture. And us being a player-led team, how we got to continue to lead each other so that we can be able to lead this team to be victorious down the stretch for the games coming forward.
Specifically as it relates to the rivalry, though, anything different that you noticed?
Nate, 4-4 with 4 games to go. As a leader, you're saying all the right things, but how do you turn the words into team action?
That's where it comes down to. It comes down to action. It comes down to first focusing on me individually. What can I do as a leader? What can I do as a captain to help push this team to be greater, to help push this team to be better with little things, and then goes on to looking at myself in the mirror, then looking at the running back room. How can we grow? How can we get better? Then looking at the offense and looking at the overall team. So that I'd say that was probably the formula of how this works. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's good to be able to say these things, but what's really going to matter is how are we going to get into Sunday and then go into our practice on Tuesday. How are we going to turn that to action so that on Saturday we can come out with a W.
Last one.
How did you see Aiden handle the pressure of this game, especially when it comes down to that last drive and it kind of falls in his hands?
Yeah, Aiden, he's such a mature quarterback, and for someone who's that young, he has a calm poise, and that's one of the things I love about him, that he never gets too high, never gets too low. No matter what happens at the play before, what happens at the play after, he's always had a level-headed mind, and it keeps us as an offense level-headed. So it's really encouraging to see someone who's that young, who has that maturity to, in big games like this with the crowds going crazy and wild, for him to be able to calm all of us down to make sure that we do the right things to execute the play well. So he has such a calm poise to him. And I think this is a great trait to the leader that he is.
Thanks, man.